Right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Out of Nowhere. Got a terrific guest on my show today. Her name is Claire Quadlin.
Quadlin.
Quadlin. Claire is a SNU trained speechlist, healer, working medium. She goes out and serves the spiritual churches. She does evenings of mediumship, private readings, and online services. Can we please welcome Claire to the show? Hello there.
Hello, everybody. Lovely to be here.
Nice to see you again. Yes. When you're talking about spiritual, how did it all start for you?
So for me, hi Diane. For me, it started about 14 years ago, but it started when I was a child. When I was younger, when I was about 3 or 4, I used to play outside with my friends. I could see my friends and play outside with my friends. And what I didn't realize was that they were spirit. And I've always sort of been intuitive that way. And I've always had a knowing, and I've always been interested in spiritualism. And I've gone and had readings myself from mediums. But about 2011, things started to happen at home. I started to lose things, and things started to turn up in different places all over the house. And I thought that that was sort of spirit saying to me, come on, Claire. And then one night I woke up, my husband and I were in bed, and we woke up to this crash. And the drawers out of my chest of drawers, the 3 drawers, were all stacked up, one on top of each other. So that was a bit weird. So yeah. I then went to a monthly circle with my friend, and there I met a lady called Rachel Casson, who is she's an SNU trained medium, and she told me that they were starting a new SNU church or Pioneer Centre in Newmarket. So I went there, and from there it just started to I don't know, I felt like I don't know if anybody's ever felt like this, but I felt like I was at home. I've always felt a little bit out of place, that I don't quite belong in the norm. But as soon as I walked into that spiritualist church, I felt like I'd come home, and I just felt that I was with like-minded people. And it just felt that it just felt really right. So from that, I started to sit in circle, and I trained to be a healer. So I'm a accredited healer.
Right.
And then I started to develop my mediumship. And I would sit in circle at my church. It was a church in Cambridge, which is in, I don't know, it's near Bedford and places like that. Yeah. So I started to do that. And then 4 years ago, the girl that her name is Rosie Keane, again, another medium. She asked if I would like to go out with her to churches. So I went out with her to train. And after a year, I started going out on my own. And from then, I've been sort of building up. And as you kindly said, Bob, at the beginning, I now I serve churches, on a Sunday church services. I do evenings of mediumship. I do private readings if people need private readings. And I do. And I do healing as well, although I do more mediumship than I do healing. But for me, mediumship is about helping people. You know,
Yes.
I feel that you are given this gift to use to try and make people's lives better when they are in need, which, you know, is what we do and what I do. So that's what it means for me.
I think you get a lot of people who go to churches, maybe lost a partner or wanting to meet other people.
Yes.
And once they've been, they enjoy it. They get a
Yes.
message. It makes them feel better. And they come
Yes.
away thinking, well, I've enjoyed that tonight. I'm going back next week.
Yeah. People, you know, you have people come in. When I was doing my healing full time before I started sort of developing my mediumship, you know, you would have people walking off the street, because we would have our church open in an afternoon, you know, and people would come in, spiritualists would come in, obviously people that were, but also anybody else would come in as well, you know, and that sometimes they just wanted to talk, or, you know, you would give them healing and they will have enjoyed that. But it's about spiritualism in itself, to me, is about a community, because that's what we are a community, you know, and with all the churches that are all over the, you know, dotted all over the country, and there are a lot of them, you know, they all become meeting places for like-minded people.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about spiritualism and all that, does it run in your family?
It does, but not in my immediate family. My great-grandmother was a medium, and I believe that her mother before her was a healer. But my grandmother and my mother don't do this. They both believe in it, and they both go to churches, but they've never developed. And as I said, I was in my early 40s when I was sort of being told, now's the time, you've got to do it, Claire. And I feel that some people will start when they are really young, as I did. You know, when I was younger, I would see my spirit friends, but then life takes over, you know, and you go through the rigmaroles of life and the ups and downs of life. And I sort of went through my 20s and 30s just navigating life, really. And it was when I got into my 40s that I realized that this was something that I couldn't not develop. So yeah, it does go back in my family.
Alex is just asking a question already. Evening, Claire. Thanks for joining us. Is there any advice you could give to new developing psychics and mediums?
What advice could I give? My advice is to always trust, in spirit. When you're starting out and when you're developing, you get to know spirit, and you get to know how to feel spirit, you get to know how to sense spirit, and you also get to know, you also have a knowing as well. But the one piece of advice that I was always given was, the spirit world will never let you down. So long as you trust in spirit and you trust that they are there, because they are there, then you can't really go wrong. That's what I was told when I was developing, because you do, when you start to develop, when you first start, you do question the information that you're getting. Is it me?
That's true.
Or is
you
it
have your
them?
doubt. yes, you have your doubt. You think, oh God, I've got this message. Shall I give it or not?
Yes.
And you think, oh my God, shall I say that or not? And then once you've opened up a little bit and they can take it, you think, oh, thank you. Thank you for giving that.
It's all about, it's all about trust in the spirit world. They will never, ever let you down. They are there to help you, to help other people. I'm used as a channel from the spirit world. So the spirit world use me as a channel for whatever service or evening of mediumship or whatever I'm doing. And they channel through the messages to the loved ones there. I always know that they are there. So I know that what I'm given, what I get in my, because the way I work, I work clairaudiently, clairsentiently, and clairvoyantly. So I see spirit in my mind's eye. I hear spirit, they talk to me. And I also am able to sense spirit. So I can sense how they're feeling. So it's about trust and belief in yourself as well, Alex. Belief in yourself. You were drawn to this for a reason. That is what I would say. And
I know he's going to awareness classes.
Yes,
Alex is. He's learning.
Yeah. You can't. You development in a circle is paramount, really. To learn in a circle. If you have a church near you, and they have a circle, I would suggest that you join that. Most churches have beginners circles, or they have circles that are open, which means that anybody can go and sit in circle, or they will have the more advanced ones or closed circles, but just go along. Meditation is always another thing as well. I'm the last person that I ever thought would meditate. But when you start to work with spirit, you have to grow that connection with them. So you have to put in the work also to develop and to have that really good connection with your spirit guides. Some of you may never know who your spirit guides are. Some of you are lucky enough to find out who they are. But yes, it's all about, continuity and practice.
Some people find it very hard to meditate, find it difficult. And other people can do it straight away.
Yeah. And I was one of those people because my mind was always busy. It was always busy. I've got quite an analytical mind, so it was constantly whirring. It's good when you start to do guided meditations, because when you're doing a guided meditation, you're actually listening, and so your mind is slowing down, and you're just focusing on that voice, which helps you. When you sit in circle, a good circle, you will always do an opening prayer, and then you will always do a meditation before you start to work in circle. So again, listening to the tutor's meditation helps. And then eventually, you can then sit with music on. I sit now for 20 minutes and I can manage to drift away, but you're not alone when you meditate. For me, when I meditate, my guides will come in, but meditation is good, but again, it does take practice.
Do you believe anyone can be a medium then?
I believe that everyone has got the ability to be a psychic, and I feel that we are all psychic. We all have, you know, that psychic ability about us. As far as being a medium goes, I do believe that a lot of people are born with it, you know, and it's whether you develop that or not, because it needs developing. But I do feel that there is an opportunity for people, if they want to try to, you know, to try and develop. But I do believe that everybody is psychic. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Because people have always asked me that question as well. I said, well, yeah. I said, you've just got to learn the trade, basically. Good. I always say, find a church, go to awareness classes, learn from the beginning, and listen to what they have to say to you as well. Some people will take to it, and some people might not want to do it. But it's good that you go and find out a little bit more. You know, go to church and see if you get a message and all that, you know, and I think it's a good thing to do, especially if you've lost a loved one and you're lonely. Go to a church because you'll meet people same as you.
Exactly.
And you know, when you're finished, people have a drink of tea or a coffee and sit and have a biscuit and have a chat. And you might find somebody there who's got the same interest as you, and you can become very good friends and become friends with church.
Yes, and you can join, you know, you can join the church, and you can, you know, you make new friends. You know, that's what I found. You know, and you could talk to people, and it wasn't like you didn't feel like you were mad, because I've been told that before. You know, I have been told that before. I actually did an evening of mediumship last Saturday at a church in Ipswich, and it was a lovely evening. There was about 30 people there, and it was a really lovely evening. And afterwards, it was, you know, we all went and sat and had coffee, cake, tea, sandwiches, and we just chatted about the evening or about nothing in particular. You know, it's all about being there. And in this day and age, you know, there needs to be more love out there than you know, there needs to be more peace out there, you know, than there is. And there needs to be places to go where you can go when you need advice or you need some help. And spiritualist churches are there for that. You know, that is part of, you know, the spiritualist movement. You know, we are all part of the Brotherhood of God, and, you know, and that includes all of us. We all need to be there for each other. And I feel that you can get that through spiritualist churches.
Yeah, I do as well. Tell us a bit how you got into healing.
Well, when I first, okay, so I've always sorry, something's just come up on my screen. Sorry. My hands, whenever I used to put them on my animals, because I'm an animal lover, they used to go hot. And I've always had cats and dogs, and I've always had a cat. And my cat was poorly, and the cat came and sat on my lap, and I just sat there with it, with my hands on him, and they went really hot. And anyway, in time, he perked up and got, not just after once, but by doing that. And I didn't really know what I was doing. All I knew was if my pets were poorly, they would come and sit on me.
Yeah.
So when I joined the church, first of all, I decided to train to be a healer, mainly because I wanted to not only be able to heal people, but also to be able to heal animals, and also to be able to know whether or not I was doing it correctly, you know, or whether or not, you know, I was doing something wrong. So anyway, I signed up and I did the SNU healing course.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you have to do a lot of quite a lot of coursework, but you also learn about the points on the body. You know, obviously you learn where all your chakras and everything are. And you learn how to give hands-on healing, which obviously when COVID came in wasn't done. And we learn how to you can give distant healing, so that somebody could ask you to send them healing, and you can sit and for me, I always sit and say a prayer, and then I feel my healing guides come in. And if I need to give healing to someone who's obviously not in the same room as me, I then sit for about half an hour normally and send that healing through to them. And I get, you know, lovely messages back saying, thank you so much, that really helped. And when I was at Cambridge Church, as I said, on an afternoon, we would do healing. There was about 5 or 6 healers there. This was pre-COVID.
That's brilliant.
And so obviously during COVID, I just did distance healing. But I still do it now. I mean, I don't tend to go out very often and do it now. Obviously healing is a gift. So I give that healing willingly. And I have been out to, you know, hospices and given healing to people that have cancer conditions. And also I have done healing on some animals as well. I sort of offered my services to a lady who rescued dogs.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And I helped her for a time as well. So that was really good. And at the moment I have a very old cat. He's 19 now, I think. And I have a 2-year-old basset hound. So they're I give them healing whenever I can as well. So yeah, I try.
Yeah, but I think it's a great thing to do distant healing, because there's many people like on Facebook or out here, and all say, can anybody out there send me some healing?
Yeah, and you do see that on Facebook. I mean, I've obviously got a page on Facebook. I've got 2 actually. I've got a normal one and then my spiritualist one.
Yeah.
And I'm also on Instagram as well, you know. So if I see any, I tend to offer, which, you know, is and if anybody asks me for healing, then, you know, I would willingly do that as well. So yeah, that's a gift as well, really. A gift to be given, if you see what I mean.
Yes, I totally agree with you there. It is.
Yeah.
When you first started out, did you look up to other mediums where you thought, they're good?
Yes.
I'd love to work with them.
Yes. So when I first started out, there was a medium he's a minister actually. His name is Colin Bates, and he's quite a well-known medium. And I sort of really looked up to him because he was fantastic. you know, and also there was who was the other one? There was a man called Bill Rich. He works around about the Essex way, but I met him at Cambridge Church. He's a medium, but he's also a trance medium as well. So it's interesting to watch him work. And also, most recently, there's a medium called Craig Morris. He would be someone to interview. He has been my mentor. So
brilliant.
You know, yeah, as I say, you know, as you're a medium, you know, you are a medium, but you're always developing and you're always learning. There's always there's always things to learn, and there's always things to develop. And I actually came across Craig Morris in lockdown when he was doing a circle online, and I got to know him that way, and then he became my mentor. And you know, I still think very highly of him now. So he's a really good medium, Craig Morris. And who was the other one? Charlie Kelly. I don't know if you've heard of Charlie Kelly. He's a medium.
No, I haven't.
He's done a lot of he's actually done a lot of work with, I'm sure he's done a lot of work with one of the universities to do with spiritualism as well. He's a really good medium. So yes, you do look up to other mediums and you think, oh my God, because they make it look so effortless, you know.
Yes, they do. Yes,
they do. But the best, you know, there are a lot of mediums. I mean, there's lots of mediums out there, lots of really good mediums that I've probably never seen or never will see. You know, there's mediums all over the country and all over the world as well. You know, but they were just a few that I sort of thought, if I could ever, you know, get to. But then you also have to remember that each and every one of us is an individual. You know, we all work differently. So if you see someone work and think, well, I'd like to work like that, you have to find your own way of working, because otherwise you just sort of get a little bit confused by seeing all the different ways that people work. So you have to work for a way that is good for you.
Yeah. I don't know if you've got any children or whatever, but if you had, are they interested in being a medium or a healer?
I've not got any. I've never had any children. I've not been blessed with children. So I don't know. I can't answer that. I've been, you know, I've always had animals. My husband has a daughter, and she is very interested in spiritualism, and she comes and, you know, she's interested in what I'm doing, you know. So whether or not she'd want to do it herself, I don't know, but she's very interested and very open to it. And my mum's very open to it as well. And she's quite good. She is actually quite good herself. She's very intuitive, but she's never pursued it. Because my dad was never a believer. He was a staunch disbeliever. So it's only since he's passed that she's really been able to, you know, sort of open up about it a little bit more.
Do you think you get people when you say, what do you do? And you say, I'm a psychic medium, and go, what a load of rubbish that is. And I say, I'll say, have you ever been to a church then? No. I said, you want to go to? I say, you want to go to one?
Yeah. Yes, you do. And you know, everybody can have their own opinion about things. You know, we have free will, so, you know, we can think what what we like, and not believing what we like also. But all I would say to somebody is, as you would say, have you been to a church? Have you tried it? I mean, when you do services, sometimes you get people there that will sit there with their arms crossed, and I don't know why they go. I have to say that sometimes, whether it's just to prove that there isn't any truth in it, but I hope that by going they realize that there is, so I can only hope that by actually going it opens their eyes, to
I think it does, and sometimes if you give it to somebody, go, you what? Oh, I don't know if I can take that, and then after they go, oh yeah, I could take that.
Well, that's when you, and this happens to all mediums, brilliant or whatever. When you get your information from spirit, you give that information out, and they've took the time to give that information. So that is a message for someone. Whether someone chooses to take that message, it for whatever reason is another matter. So I have had instances where after a service, people have come and said to me, oh, I could take all of that. That was for me. And they obviously have their reason why they didn't want to say anything, but it can be a little bit frustrating at times, because you then have to send the spirit back without conveying that message, although really you have conveyed it, but you don't realize that. So you have to send that spirit person back. So yes, it can be a little bit frustrating at times, but people have their own reasons. Some people are going for the first time ever and they don't want to say anything, and that's fine, and then it's validated at the end. But I always say, if you feel the message is with you, then give your voice. Let me have your voice. If it's a no to what information I've given you, I can go back and I can get further clarification. But if you don't say anything to me, then I can't take it any further.
That's true. It's true what you're saying there. Some people get afraid sometimes to what message they're going to get, and that's why some people don't. They just get frightened and think, oh, I don't know what to say now.
Yeah, but I would say to that when spirit come through, they come through with love. They come through with, reassurance maybe to the sitter, or reassurance that they're okay, or they come through with healing. When you go to a spiritualist church and you receive a message, you're not going to receive anything that you wouldn't want to hear. Well, unless it's a telling off, that is, sometimes.
Well, yeah, that can be arranged.
Yeah, and they'll tell you off. So maybe that. But what I'm trying to say is there would never be anything that to be scared of. Sometimes when I've done a service and I've brought somebody through, the person will acknowledge that, but they don't want to talk to them for whatever reason that is. And again, that's fine. If they don't want to talk to them, then you have to ask them to step back, and that has happened before as well, for whatever reason. So, it's there's nothing to be scared of, really.
True, yeah. Yeah, I know. What time we got to? Oh, we're past the half hour anyway. It goes very quickly. If you want to do some mini readings,
Right.
Alex had like anything for Alex, he said. Basically, yes, please. I just said, anybody want to read it? Alex said,
Alex, Joanne, and Diane. Right.
Yes.
Okay. So if you just bear with me, I'll see if I can bring someone through. Alex, would you understand father in the spirit world? It's either father or someone like a father. I don't know. Would you understand that? This gentleman, I would say, is probably about, he's quite a tall man, I would say. He's medium to well built, I would say, and I feel that he would have passed the spirit world with I feel, with a heart condition. I'm not quite sure if it was a heart attack. If it wasn't a heart attack, it was something to do with the heart or around the heart. Can you understand that, Alex?
I'm sure he'll get back to us in a minute.
Right. Or Joanne or Diane. I mean, I focused on Alex, but, you know.
Yeah.
Don't know if you can understand that.
I'm sure he'll get back to us in a minute.
Not sure.
He said he's not,
right. Okay.
Not sure.
Do you have father in the spirit world, though, Alex?
I'm just waiting for a reply.
No. Right. Okay.
No.
So that's a good start. Okay. Right. I'm going to put it out there then. Diane or Joanne, can you understand that information? Because this gentleman is definitely here. He's got a big grin on his face. He's got trousers on. He's got a shirt on, and the sleeves are rolled up as well.
Rolled up. Right.
No.
We'll just wait for a reply back.
That's the trouble, isn't it? When you're on here, you have to wait for a reply back.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Your father's still
My father's still with me.
Right. Okay.
That's Diane.
Joanne?
Yeah.
Let me see if it's Joanne. If not, right.
There's a few it could be. Not my dad, but like one.
Right. Okay, Joanne. So sorry I wasn't with you, Alex. Okay, Joanne. So would you understand? So I said either father or like a father. So you would understand that, would you? And would you also understand the condition that he would have passed with as well? And would you also understand the build with him as well? And I feel also with him that he was, yes, right, okay. I also feel with him that he had he always had a smile on his face. I feel he was I can see him, and he's got a really broad smile on his face. I feel like he was quite a positive man. And I also feel with him as well that he was quite a bit of a joker, Joanne, as well. He liked to make people laugh, or he liked people to have fun and to enjoy themselves. That's the way he's making me feel. I also feel with him as well that he was a really hard-working man as well. I feel that he would have put in the hours at work. He was really quite passionate. You know, well, I say passionate. He was he liked to do. He wasn't tall, but he was hardworking. Right. Okay. Would you understand also with this gentleman that he liked the outside. And when I say that he liked the outside, I get the feeling that he liked to be outside. He liked to go walking or be out in nature as well. I feel that with him, that he was an outdoorsy sort of person. I'm not saying he went running or anything, but I just feel that he would have liked to be outside. I also feel with him as well that he was someone who was, yes, right, lovely, thank you. I also feel with him as well that he was someone who was quite handy. So he was really handy with his he would turn his hand to anything, and I feel he could fix anything. And I also feel with him that he would have had, I don't know if it was a shed or just in the garage, but I can see him with tools, you know, like screwdrivers and things like that. I always feel that he was always busy doing something. Okay. I also can you confirm whether or not he liked would you understand that he would have grown his own vegetables? Because I can see vegetables. I can see a garden, but I can also see vegetables, Joanne. I don't know if you can understand that. And I feel he was quite good at that as well. And that those vegetables would have sustained, you know, he wouldn't have, yes, greenhouse, right, okay. And would you say yes to the vegetables as well? Because he just keeps showing me these vegetables. I can see potatoes and I can see marrows and things. I've been given the names George, Albert and Brian. I don't know if you can take any of those names, George, Albert and Brian. I've also been given the month of June, and I want to say the third week in June, for an anniversary or a celebration of some kind, sort of towards the third week in June. I don't know if you can understand any of those names, but they were just given to me also as well. I feel he's making me feel also that you were quite close to your granddad, Joanne, and you would have enjoyed spending time with him, and I feel that he would have also enjoyed spending time with you. I feel that you were quite a chatterbox when you were a little girl, and you were quite inquisitive as well, and you would always be asking lots of questions, I feel, and he loved that, and he would come out with these great stories as well. I feel he had a tale or two to tell, Joanne. I don't know if you can understand that. Albert, I can take. Yeah, so you spent a lot of time with him, right? Okay. And I feel also, before I go to the reason why he's come through to see you, I feel also that you learned a great deal from him. Yeah, I do feel that you learned quite a lot from your granddad, and that would have helped to shape you into the person that you are today. Right, I'm going to go to the reason why he's come through. Okay, so first of all, he's come through. He's come through with some strength for you, Joanne. He's coming through with some strength for you. He's been around you at the moment, I feel. I don't know if you can feel spirit, Joanne, but he has been around you at the moment, giving you a little bit of a boost. I feel that you need a little bit of a boost at the moment. He's saying to me that, you know, you have grown into a beautiful woman. You know, you stand up for what you believe. You are very caring. You are very empathetic as well. And you will do whatever you can for those that you love, if you can understand that. What he is saying is, though, Joanne, that I don't feel that at times he's saying you give enough time for yourself. I feel that you're quite busy and your life is quite busy. And And I feel that at times I think you just you would feel like maybe, well, you might not feel like this, but it's like you're on a treadmill, and you just keep going. You just keep going, and you just keep doing and giving. So he's saying that you need to take a bit of time for yourself as well, Joanne. All right. And he's giving you that boost. Okay. He also wants me to give you a bunch of, oh, what are they? What are they? They're not daffodils. No. He wants me to give you a bunch of, I think they're crocuses. They're purple and yellow, these flowers. And he wants me to give you those with his love. All right. And to say that he's with you always. If you need him, just ask for his help. All right. And if I could leave his love with you and say thank you for working with me, Joanne. Thank you.
Oh, that was nice.
That was nice. Got there in the end. Didn't really know where I was going, but who were the other ones?
I know. She said, thank you. He was a good man.
Yeah, he was a good man. He was definitely a good man. Do you want me to do it? Have I got time to do another one?
Yeah, yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Right, let me see if I can get someone from the spirit world. Right, okay. Right, I'm drawn to you, Diane. So I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna start with you before I bring this person through. So I would say that you are someone who is quite a positive lady, quite an upbeat lady, I feel. And you are someone who is always there for your nearest and dearest. Okay. I want to say with you, Diane, that you are half a glass full rather than half a glass empty. I want to say that about you. I have got a lady with me. Okay, Diane. And I feel as though this lady is grandmother. So if you could just tell me whether or not you've got grandmother in the spirit world. This lady is a really bubbly lady, really bubbly. I don't think she's very tall. She's probably no more than 5'4", 5'5", something like that. But she's a real chatterbox, and she's making me talk fast as well. So she obviously always had a lot to say. You do have a nan in spirit, right? Okay, so I don't know if you can understand this with this lady. As I said, I don't feel she was very tall. Again, I feel she was medium build, maybe slightly a little bit bigger than that, but she was a normal size build, I would say. She did like to look nice. I do feel that she always liked to take care of herself. So even if she was just at home, she would always make sure she looked smart. I feel that she would have liked her face to look nice, and I feel that she would have liked her hair to look nice as well. I feel that she would have passed the spirit world with I have a really tight chest. So, and I'm finding it quite difficult to breathe. So I don't know if she would have passed the spirit world with either a chest condition or a lung condition. I'm not really quite sure about that. All I do know is that towards the end of her life, she found it really difficult to breathe. Right, don't tell me anymore. And I also feel with her as well that she would have had to have had a mask as well. She would have had to have a mask at some point. Do you understand the description of her, Diane? The way she liked to look, and the way that and the way that she liked to look smart as well. And I also feel with her as well that she knew everything that was going on. She had quite a lot of friends, and she would never call herself a gossip, but I do feel that she would have known what was going on in and around her area as well. I also feel with her, sounds more like my mum than my nan. Right, okay. Is your mum in the spirit world or is your mum here? Because this lady's definitely in the spirit world. I don't know if you could let me know that, Diane.
I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will do, Diane will.
Your mum is in spirit. Right, okay. Have I got your mum? Did your mum pass to the spirit world with a chest condition as well? Did she pass? Because I've got this chest condition and I've got a real shortness of breath with this lady.
And she knew all the gossip as well.
And she knew all the gossip as well. And she liked, she liked to chat, is what I want to say. Right. Okay, then, Diane, maybe it's your mother that I've got. That's me, the way she was making me feel. I'll keep working with you anyway. If I'm giving you your mother, then I'll just continue with that. Would you also understand that would you understand that your mum, her house was her home? And when I say that, I'm not saying it was Buckingham Palace, but to her, it was, her house was her home and she was very proud of what she had in it. And I also feel with her that her doors would always be open as well. Her doors would always be open for tea and sympathy. I do feel that she would have had her friends round. And I feel also with her that, she gave good advice. I feel that with her, that she gave good advice. And she was someone that you could really talk to. Yes, she loved her possessions. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But would you understand that with her as well, that, she was very caring as well, and she would give good advice. I feel that you and her were quite alike in some ways. And I feel that you were quite close to your mum, but I also feel that as you grew up sort of into your teenage years, would you understand that there would have been a few clashes, maybe, or disagreements, shall we say? But saying that, I do feel that you were quite close to your mum as well. Whether you could just confirm that or deny that for me, that would be great. I have just been given the name of Alice. I've been given the name Mary, and I've been given the name June as well. So it's Alice, Mary, and June, and I've been given the month of September. Yes, she was a rebel, right?
A rebel.
I've been given the month of September. I want to say the second and third week in September for an anniversary or a passing. I don't know if you can take any of those as well. So she was a bit of a rebel, was she? A rebel without a cause. Is that what you're saying? I feel that with her as well, she did what she wanted to do. She didn't she would, if she wanted to do something, she would do it. And I feel in a way that you were both like that as well. You were both sort of, I feel that you are like that as well yourself. You're quite you know what you want. And I feel that with your mum. She knew what she wants. She knew what she wanted. And also as well, but with her as well, I do feel that she had a really fierce love for her family, and she would do absolutely anything for her family. Would you understand with your mum that you and her would go out of an evening So you and her would have gone out drinking together at some point. I don't know if you can understand that or not, Diane. If not, I'm gonna go to the reason that she's come through as well.
Yes.
I can't see any more comments from her, Bob. So.
Not yet, but she'll get back.
Yeah.
You can say why.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So you're. No, never. She was a handful. Right. Okay.
I can imagine.
Right. Okay. So why has she come through to see you this evening? Well, she's just so excited to be here to actually see you, Diane, and be able to actually talk to you. She wants to first of all say to you how thankful she was for all of the help and the love that you gave her when she was poorly. She's saying that she knew she could be awkward, but she was just frustrated because she wasn't able to do the things that she used to do and love. But she was so grateful for everything that you did for her. Okay. She also wants you to know, that she is very happy where she is now, and she's on her next pathway, her next journey as such. And, she wants you to know that she is happy. And she's saying that she's so very proud of you, Diane, so very proud of you for what you have achieved, and also for what you have, the hurdles you have had to climb over is what she's saying. And she's saying that just keep that tenacity about you, keep that joy about you, keep that independence about you, she said, and never let anyone hold you back. Never let anyone hold you back, she's saying, because the world is your oyster. That's what she's saying, Diane. The world is your oyster. Wow. She's sending through all of her love to you, okay? And she wants to bring through for you. She's bringing, I don't know if it was hers or if you know, or you've got one, but she's bringing through a cross and chain, a gold cross and chain. I don't think it got any patterns on it. I just think it was plain. But that's the gift that she's asked to give you, okay? So I want to leave her love with you and say, thank you very much for working with me. Thank you.
Yeah, she just put, thank you, Claire. So pleased she has finally found some peace in that, and he's happy.
Yeah.
And
yes, I have.
The other one was
you have a cross and chain. That's great, Diane. Thank you. That's
good proof.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, we're just about run out of time. But it's been
sorry,
very
Alex.
interesting.
Sorry, I didn't get to you, Alex.
Hopefully never mind. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Where can people find you if they want to read in?
They can find me on Facebook. If they just type in Claire Quadlin, they'll find me on there. I'm on Instagram. And I've recently just gone on to TikTok, but I'm just learning my way there. But I can be found on TikTok as well. No, my email address isn't out there really, so I would say people could email me, but I haven't got that. So Facebook, find me on Messenger, contact me on Messenger, and I'll respond. Yeah. So I'm there, and also I am online on a Friday and a Sunday on different platforms. So if you ever go on Spirit is Everywhere or
What time is that?
On a Friday, I'm on a platform called Spirit is Everywhere at 6 o'clock for an hour. And then on a Sunday, I'm on, what's it called? I can't remember. It's Veronica Jenkins is the, I think it's Online Spiritualist Services. That's on at 7 o'clock on a Sunday for an hour. So I'm online on those 2 days, as I say. But yeah.
Right, lovely. And if you do anything like reading, do you do them on Zoom or Skype?
I'll do readings on Zoom. I can do readings on Messenger. I can do readings on WhatsApp. If it's close to home, then I will go out, but obviously not a great distance. But yeah, I'm available on anything really to do.
Yeah, you'll do group events and things like
that.
Yeah,
I do group. Yeah, I do group events as well. I'm actually doing a group event in a couple of weeks' time, but they only live about 4 miles away from me, so I'm actually going.
Lovely.
But I do groups as well. Yeah, so you can find me as well.
Well, thank you.
No, thank you for the reading. Thank you for having me on here tonight.
That's no problem. Well, I'll have you again in a few months' time.
Yeah, that would be lovely. And thank you for everybody for coming on and joining us. It was lovely. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, and I've just realised when we're doing readings like that, I could give them the thing because I'm allowed 10 people on my screen. So really, I could have had them on the screen, really, and you could talk to them.
That would be good.
Well, I'm going to, because I do have a few psychic mediums on and animal communicators as well. And I think, why don't I just do that?
Yeah, that would be great.
Send them the link, and when their turn comes up, I can say, go on then, click on it, and I can click on them, and they can come on screen.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be good to work like that. Because you've got to remember as well that when we're in churches, we are face to face.
Correct. Yes. So it's true. It's true that. And so thank you, Claire, for coming on the show. It's been very interesting as usual. Everybody's enjoyed it in the chat room, and people that have got readings have always said thank you very much indeed.
Lovely.
But
I'll see you all again soon.
Yeah, yes, thank you. And take care and have a lovely week.
And you.
The weather's going to get better as the week goes on.
It is, so they say, so that's good.
It's been a lovely day here in Briglington.
Yeah, it's been lovely here.
It's cold.
It's going to be 18 degrees where I am tomorrow, so that will be good.
Oh, sounds beautiful.
I know. Right, okay then, Bob.
Right, thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.